Yo guys, if you're struggling with porn right now and you're on Nofap, I think you should really get off Nofap. Why? Well, I don't think Nofap is a good long-term solution for quitting porn. And I think everyone's goal should be to quit it forever. From my experience, I've been on Nofap for the past 2 years, and I've gotten like 90-day streaks, I've gotten 30-day streaks, but I've always been relapsing. And I think there are a couple of like the ideas around NoFap or the things they use to try to quit that I just don't think are good for the long term. So first, I'm going to be talking about like counting days. And this seems really to be a really big thing around the NoFap community, counting days, 30-day, 90-day streaks, stuff like that. And I think they're good, but they're only good if you want to reach those 90-day goals. And I think if you want to quit long term or forever, I think you shouldn't count days, from my experience at least. After a while, counting days, it makes me very obsessive over the days. And this may be the same for you guys too. For me, it makes me a little bit obsessive over the days. And the more you think about the days, the more you think about the addiction, the more likely you are to relapse. So I think the best thing to do would be to count days, but only for a short amount of time. Eventually, you want to get to a point where you don't have to count anymore, and you can just completely forget about it. Another thing they talk about are like benefits, superpowers. You may have heard this term if you're like in the NoFap community. I think this is a little bit overhyped in my opinion. I mean, you do feel a lot better, but I've read like posts, I've watched videos about these superpowers and benefits, and I think the NoFap community just overhypes it a little bit much. And I think that hyper focusing on these benefits and superpowers, it can make relapsing a lot worse. In reality, the benefits, the superpowers, they're not really life-changing, and I think a lot of people in the community describe it and make you feel that way, that they're kind of life-changing, that they're going to change your life. You know, hearing stories about people getting new girlfriends after quitting porn for 90 days, that stuff doesn't just come from quitting porn. You actually have to put in the work, unfortunately. So a couple things that I have problems with that I just described. Number one, counting days and how they overhype benefits. So I've recently just stopped doing like the NoFap stuff, and I tried my own way. So here's how I did it. First, I just completely stopped counting. Like, I'm not even counting anymore. And it's kind of made me less obsessive over the addiction, and it's made me I don't think about it as much. And that's good because, like I mentioned before, I think the less you think about it, the less likely you are to relapse. So yeah, I stopped counting days, and I think that's really helpful. That's more helpful than counting days, in my opinion. And along with counting days, I also started doing good habits. I started doing good habits. I started going to the gym. I started building new friendships, new relationships. I started eating a bit healthy too. And I think that these things are good if you want to distract yourself from the addiction. Building good habits and just stop counting days, and that's gonna put your focus on better things, on better goals. So yeah, I think those two things, like if you're on Nofap and you've been struggling, if you've been hitting 7-day streaks, if you've been hitting 3-day streaks but keep relapsing, I think that this method could really help you. It's really helped me. But again, this is just my opinion. I see a lot of people that actually got help or actually got success from Nofap, but that's not the case for me. And if it's not the case for you, then I think this can really help you. But, let me know. Just try it for a week, 2 weeks maybe, and I think it'll really help you. And, that's about it. Peace.